Like I remember sitting in class going, why am I learning this? And the teachers that the classes I did best in were the ones where the teacher said, you're learning this because this is going to give you this foundation. And later on, we're going to do this and you're going to need to refer back to it. And then later on, when we got to that bit, they'd come back and say, so, all that stuff that we did that was really boring. Well, this is where this now comes in. I think that's the other thing that I should mention is teaching first principles. Don't just teach by rote. Don't just teach, you do step A and step B and step C and step D and you'll get to here. Because sometimes going between step A and step B doesn't work the way you think it will, or B and C won't work, or you get to step D and work out that the result you got from B was incorrect. If you teach from first principles, the reason we're doing this is because of this. When we build, and I can go back to my electronics background for this, my tech background for this, is understanding why that formula works. Understand the principles as to why that formula actually does what it does. Understand why that formula was structured the way it was the way it was. I keep saying that. There are days that my dad and I will sit down, because Dad's a tech as well. He's an electrician and a tech. And we'll be sit down and something's not working. And the two of us will sit down and we'll just get a piece of paper and we'll just go, okay, first principles. How should this work? How do we understand that this should work based on our experience and our understanding of the theory behind it? And once we get that out, we go, oh, okay, so this is the principle and this is what's broken. So we can probably look over here. There's what's broken. Now we know what's broken. We might not know how to fix it straight up, but we know where it's broken. We know why it's broken or why it is breaking. Maybe not why it's broken, but why it is breaking. Now we've got something we can go and actually work on and define and try and get ourselves through. So get people to understand the first principles, the base principles. The foundation work is just so, so important. And teach them that if something isn't working or you're not getting the result you think you should be getting, go back. Don't be afraid to go back to the beginning and set it all out again and work your way through it. Sometimes you have to go back to the beginning.
Right. That's so true. And see why maybe something is not working, or why maybe you need to make an adjustment along the way. Yeah. That's so true. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yes. So from your vantage point, Charly, what kind of tech mistakes do educators and instructional designers, maybe like me, most often make without really knowing it? And what are some simple ways that they can avoid those pitfalls in the future?
I've been thinking about how to answer that question, and I think my answer isn't going to be what you wanted me to say, but I think one of the things that bugs me the most when I get someone come to me and say this isn't working is they say, I should know this. This is simple stuff. And they're saying that because everyone around them is saying this is simple stuff. Trust me, technology is not simple. It's only simple because we use it every day, or you're using it every day. You're doing the same thing again and again and again. So it becomes simple for you. It's become something you know. Don't think that just because something isn't working, it's you. It might be you, but it's also likely that there's a couple of things that it might be. You might not be using it the way you should be using it, or the most optimal way of using it. It might be that the instructions were written for a previous version and they haven't updated the instructions, but they've updated the versions and something's changed, and now you've got to work out how to make it work again, even though it's always worked the way it did until right now, and it doesn't work. Remember what I was saying is, like, you don't know what you don't know until you don't know it.
Right.